Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Political thoughts of the day by your future North Dakota United States Senator Michael J. Steele. Well, I finally figured something out. I'm going to try to explain this very carefully to all my constituents. The Republicans that support the Ku Klux Klan and the white supremacists around the world have elected Donald J. Trump. That's because we had our first African American president, Barack Obama, elected for 8 years. Trump, to them, is their great white hope. Them meaning the white supremacists, the Klansmen, and the haters out there. I'm sorry to say, but he's out giving rallies, destroying people's lives, laughing at his thugs that are body slamming reporters. And then you got Lindsey Graham right now denouncing Trump's thoughts on the Khashoggi deal. And I know why he's doing that. He knows that right now that blue wave is coming in, and it's going to take the midterm elections. So now he's trying to go with the people, and he's going against the president because his little Lindsey Graham ass is up for re-election. So now he's denouncing Trump. I think it's an orchestrated maneuver by Lindsey Graham to go against Trump just so that he can get elected. That's all he cares about. And Trump's out there building walls, putting kids in concentration camps. Then they got this big thing on all over national news. You got all these people on this bridge coming in through Mexico from Honduras and that. I think that's Trump paid those people to be on that bridge to create a threat so he can continue to build this wall that he wants to build, and so he can get real strict on his great immigration policies that everybody's so upset with. I've talked about this before, but I thought it's just time for me to speak now. We have to stop the Nazi agenda right now, or it's going to be too late. Build this wall. Walls are built to keep people in. Bobby Kennedy said they're built to keep people in. Look what Hitler did in the Warsaw Ghetto in Warsaw, Poland. They built walls to keep people in there, and then they were worked to death and killed in concentration camps. And then Trump saying no more taxes. Hey, he don't want no taxes. Keep cutting taxes. Well, you know what your taxes do, people? They pay for your firemen. They pay for your policemen. They pay for children to have school. They pay to keep our food safe. They pay for our parks and recreations. They pay so we have good food, safe food, the Food and Drug Administration. The reason the people started these bureaus and agencies is because they were concerned about people's health. Upton Sinclair wrote a book in 1926 called The Jungle, where he went in and he went actually to the President of the United States at the time and had told him that there were rats in the food supply. There were fingers cut off. There were corpses in there. There were anything. It was just absurd in your meat packing plants. So he went to the president, a great Republican, Theodore Roosevelt. Guess who started that? Theodore Roosevelt started the Food and Drug Administration. So we could have safe food to eat. These nuts, this Trump guy, he just went with his Republican buddies. They allowed more asbestos on the market, which causes mesothelioma, which is killing people all across the country. They figure they can destroy the planet because by the time the shit hits the fan here, they'll all be dead. Or they'll go live in a country where, like in Europe, they don't allow GMOs like we're allowing here. But they don't allow a lot of things, this modified food that we're eating that's going to alter our genes. They don't allow that. But the rich people, they don't even eat this crap, but they'll sure sell it if they can make a profit. They're choosing profits over people. I want my constituents out there right now to wake up, get out there and vote your ass off in November and get rid of every Republican. I thought after the Bush administration there'd never be another Republican elected. And here we are, people, electing Donald J. Trump, with the help of these Russian thugs, the Russian mafia, Excuse me, I have to drink I don't drink coffee. I drink a little bit of cocoa in the morning because it does the body good. You got your Rush Limbaugh, your Rush Dumbos out there. I could speak for the poor and the working man. They want to give tax breaks to all these billionaires and millionaires while people, while trying to take away our Social Security, trying to take away our housing assistance, anything to help the poor. Here's what these Republican rich billionaire hoarders do. They blame the poor and they steal from the poor. That's all they've ever done, and I'm fed up and I'm not going to take it. I need your support right now to get out there and start donating to my GoFundMe page. That's Michael J. Steele, Michael the Real Deal Steele, so I can get a tour bus and get on the road and get my message out there and start stopping this lunacy, this idiocracy we got with Trump, And as a good friend of mine, Daniel had told me that it's idiocracy meets Hitler's Third Reich. What do you think of that? I think that's true, because right now Trump's trying to get rid of he's getting rid of the news. That's a fascist move. You get rid of the news or you control the media. Well, that's what Goebbels did with propaganda. You say the same stupid shit over and over again. Eventually, the people are going to believe it. That's what Trump does in all his rallies. What the hell is he doing? Every day I see him on another rally helping his buddies get elected. Isn't he supposed to be running the damn country? Who's running the freaking country right now? Not Trump. Who's running it? That's all he's doing. He's campaigning, trying to get his people in there. I bet you he had a shit hemorrhage when his buddy Kavanaugh got elected. He was so happy that he's probably shitting fucking daisies right now. I'm upset. What else are we talking about? We got a Kavanaugh who got in there, just to take America back. Let's bring America back to the 1840s. That's what your repugnants want to do. They want to go back. They hate everybody, the haters. Trump hates Mexicans, minorities, homosexuals, women. He hates women. He thinks they're a piece of meat. He pays them to have sex with him because he's so fucking ugly. The Mr. Pumpkinhead, Humpty Trumpty. Oh, and he's trying to build this great wall to keep people locked in, because when we try to run, they'll just probably try to shoot us all. People better wake their ass up right now. And I know he's the great white hope. I'm white, but I never had no great white hope in this guy. I liked Obama because he was intelligent and he made a lot of sense. And he kept this country at peace. There were no terror attacks. There were no people going to political meetings beating the crap out of each other. He was mad at Fox News, but he didn't say, I'm going to shut the news down like Trump's doing. Trump's trying to shut the news down. He wants to eliminate the news and take it all over. I mean, wake up, people. Got to get rid of these people. I'm waiting for the Senate to impeach this guy. It could happen once we get the blue wave going. Then you got the red wave with the Republicans. Let's call it not the blue wave, the red wave. Let's call it the intergalactic wave of the Democrats. The Democrats better get in there and not drop the ball. You got a great opportunity right now to beat this asshole. I'm still up in the air. I'm with the Constitutionalist American Party. That's who I am. I'm a constitutionalist. There's things the Democrats do that piss me off too. There's things that the Republicans do that are really starting to really get under my skin and piss me off. And I remember a few years ago, this Rick Berg, this little punk that's the head of the grand old party here of Fargo, or North Dakota, they had, which is a federal offense. Nobody did shit about it because we got a Republican legislature in North Dakota. He ran political ads on the day of the election when he ran against Earl Pomeroy. People waking up in the morning, they're hearing on their radios, oh, vote for Rick Berg, vote for Rick Berg. you know. So guess who wins the election? Rick Berg. Rick Berg won the election. Then we got rid of his ass because he promised the farmers a farm bill, and he didn't give them shit. He didn't give them anything. Nothing. So they got rid of him. They got Heidi Heitkamp in there, who I believe is our third Republican. But she's better than the alternative, this Kevin Kramer, who's bought off by the corporation, gave his wife raises, everybody raises, gave himself a big salary raise, you know. He's a real nice guy. When you talk to him, they're nice. I'd be a nice guy, too, if I was screwing you out of all your money. I'd be real freaking happy. You know, he gave his wife a big job, big raise, big money, you know. Now he wants to be a senator. Ooh, be a U.S. senator. Now he can get up there and really make the big money and really steal, you know. I'm getting up there. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to be a trust buster. I'm going to bring back the moral majority. I'm going to bring back prayers in school. That's what I want to do. 1963. One crazy person said, let's get rid of prayer in school, you know. They say, well, then we got to make room for this person or that person, this group, that group. Well, we give everybody 10 minutes to pray to Allah, Jesus, God, Yahshua, whoever you want to vote for, Buddha. You vote. I don't want to leave anybody out. You vote for anybody you want to vote for. Or pray for anybody you want to pray for and vote, you know. But just bow your head and pray. And I'm waiting, you know, I know it's a little early. It's 2018. I'm running in 2022. I want to try to become the next United States Senator of North Dakota to get out John Hoeven. Everybody likes him, too. They all smile at you. They're real calm. They don't lose their head, you know. Kramer, he's a nice guy. I've met him. I've met Hoeven. They're nice guys, you know. But I'd be a nice guy, too, if I was taking your money from you. You know, but what are they doing for the citizenry, the average Joe Schmo of North Dakota? You know, what are they doing about our crime and our homeless problem? You know, there's people that are pissed off. That's why I've promised before I'm going to have the complaint department of North Dakota where we can talk to people about any problems they have with workers' compensation, corruption, if they get screwed over, their job service benefits, if people get screwed over their job service benefits. We'll have a complaint department for every government agency and oversight. Right out of the federal level, watching these crooked son of a guns, because the Washington Post wrote an article, you can look it up, a few years ago, said North Dakota is the most corrupt state in the union right now. And I'm starting to believe it, you know, but people just don't realize it. As long as they got their beer and football, on the weekends, they're just happy. They don't give a shit. And if the whole world collapses around them, they could care less, you know, people. Oh, I was discussing the Electoral College. Maybe we should get rid of the Electoral College. They're not going to be glad to hear this because the Electoral College is there because everybody in the world is the unwashed. And they think everybody's a frickin' idiot. And they're not smart enough to pick the right candidate for the job. So you got this Electoral College that decides for, it's like 254 of them, they vote, they decide the fate of 320 million Americans, you know. Like the Supreme Court of America, you know, 9 judges decide the fate of 320 million. Like they really know what the hell's good for all of us, you know, 9 of them. And, you know, like, are they representing your interests? Who's representing your interests? Think about it. Trump got elected. Did he represent your interests? The people on the Supreme Court, are they really representing your interest? You know, is the Electoral College representing your interest? That's what I'm going to have panels to decide if these organizations are really representing our interests, because at the stroke of a pen, we can eliminate the Supreme Court. The people have the power to do it. Just got to get enough votes and we can do it. We can shit can the Electoral College and go by the popular vote. I think we'd be better off with popular vote. You know, Sweden, 98% of the population is is participating in the political process because they're part of the political process. They have a vested interest. In America, a lot of people feel, well, my vote don't count because I don't have a vested interest. Well, let's get some vesting of the American people. If you're on this soil and you're an American and you pledge allegiance to the flag and you vow to defend the Constitution of the United States, then you have a vested interest in this country. You have a vested interest to feed your children, to go to church, to be a good citizen, to bring people to church, to school, to defend your beliefs, to protect the First Amendment right of the press. Bernie Sanders, he had a lot right, but nobody elected him. Because the Democrats screwed him over and they admitted it. For Hillary Clinton, they screwed him over. I think he'd have beat Trump's ass. He'd out-debated the shit out of him because he knows the facts. He's seen the numbers. He's been up there 40 years looking at all the numbers. Like we had Kent Conrad, who's no longer here, looking at all the charts and graphs. We had Byron Dorgan, Conrad. We had some real good guys up there that were actually, Dorgan was good enough to tax the corporations. First person in North Dakota history to not let these corporations come in and rape our asses here in North Dakota and take everything, rape and pillage, take everything out of the state and make a bunch of big profits. That's what corporations did for years till Byron Dorgan got in. He stopped that shit. He made them pay some taxes. They should be paying more taxes. The corporations should be paying their fair share and spreading the wealth. And I don't believe there should be billionaires in this country, like I've said before, because they're hoarding money. The billionaires better start giving back right now because they're going to be the last ones to get into heaven. Because remember what it says? It's like a camel going through the eye of a needle to get into heaven. For a rich man, well, that's what's going to happen to guys like Trump, these billionaire hoarders. While they got people starving in Arkansas and people living under bridges, homeless veterans, and these assholes are living like royalty up there, lords and ladies. Now it's time to get motivated out there, people, and get rid of these Nazis before we have another Holocaust right here in America. We had a civil war here. Do you remember that? The country's divided right now. And who's dividing us? Guys like Trump. He hates people. They're dividing the country. They're destroying it. Excuse me. We could have a civil war here at any moment, breakdown, I believe. We'll have a civil war before anything. I'm just really having a pissed off day today. And I'm not like this usually, but I'm just so upset with what's going on right now. And I hope the American people wake up and get rid of this Nazi administration, this Nazi regime, trying to get rid of everything that made America great. They're trying to get rid of everything that makes America great by doing what Hitler did. Hitler said, let's make Germany great again. Well, guess what Trump's doing? Using the same slogan. Let's make America great again. Like I say, Hitler took over the media. Trump's trying to take over the media. Have I convinced you? I hope you'd been listening. Because I really want to convince you, and if you like what I'm telling you right now, and I'm a man of action, I'm going to be there 2022. I'm going to be running against John Hoeven, unless he decides not to run, which would be a good idea for him, and just let me get on the ballot and walk out in the door and become a senator of North Dakota for the United States. Like most of these judges in North Dakota, the ballot are unopposed. You got people on these ballots throughout our whole state that are unopposed because the people out there don't want to get involved in politics. They just want to keep doing their thing, what they do, which is fine, because when this country was founded, people were wanting to farm and they were building a nation. That's why we have indirect representation of government. That's why we are a republic, because everybody didn't want to go to Washington. So they figured we'll get one person to go up there and represent our interests. That's their job, is to represent the interest of the people, not the interest of themselves, the corporations, their friends, the interest of the lobbyists with all the big money. We're going to change that. When I get elected, That shit's going to all change. But I'm going to get stuff done. I am going to bring home the bacon to Fargo and to North Dakota. Not only in my hometown of Fargo, I'm going to bring home the bacon. I'm going to be at the trough every day. I'm going to get so much freaking money coming into this state that the poor people won't be poor. Well, there'll be opportunities for everyone to work, to everyone to get a job. And they're going to be able to get health care. That's going to be great when I get in there. Is it really good for you right now if Trump's in there? If you're happy with Trump, then he's your guy. He's the great white hope. That he's your Messiah that you've all been waiting for. But I don't think so. Well, I've ran out of wind today. So I think I'm going to let the show end here pretty early. But I'm Michael J. Steele. I've been in North Dakota for 40 years. I'm running for candidate of the North Dakota United States Senate in 2022, and I need your support because I want to get a tour bus, and I want to tour throughout North Dakota. I want to get out there and talk to the farmers, talk to the military. I want to talk to the people, and I want to ask them, what do you want of me as your representative when I get to government in Washington, D.C.? What do you need? What do you want? And I will be there to help everybody. I will be there working. I'll be one of the hardest working men in the theater up there. Like Elvis, the hardest working man in show business. I will be the hardest working man in the Senate because that's what I do. I'm a hard worker mentally. I do a lot of brain work. I brainstorm. I'm going to get up there and brainstorm, work hard for you guys. I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give the people what they want. I'm going to tell you the truth, too. I'm not going to bullshit about you and say, well, give me money so I can get this guy elected or that guy elected. Or I'm not going to go around helping campaign for this guy every day or that guy. No, I'm going to be doing my job. Unlike the President of the United States, he's on TV every day campaigning for people to get elected. I've never seen a president like this before in my life. Every day he's on the road campaigning. Why isn't he in the White House talking to his staff and doing his job, talking to the Department of Defense? What the heck is he doing? Well, I guess if he gives them $780 billion like he did, he figures, well, that ought to take care of it. That's here, I'll get the check. We're safe now. We'll give the military $780 billion. I don't even have to worry about nothing. They'll take care of it, which is fine. The military industrial complex, just wonderful, So I support the troops. I've always supported the troops. Sometimes I don't support the decisions of their superiors to bring us to war, because war doesn't do shit for anybody, really. It creates chaos, panic, keeps the armaments manufacturers in business, I guess. That's one thing. I guess they need jobs too, so. But I'm going to let you go today, and I hope you enjoyed my show. I'm going to have some special guests here coming up the closer it gets to the elections. So, but thanks for tuning in, and I hope you just remember, go to Michael J. Steele, the real deal Steele GoFundMe page, because I got to get that tour bus. I got to get my staff. I got to get working now so I can get elected in 2022 against this machine. This thing is like a huge machine in North Dakota here. I'm fighting a machine. I'm one person. I got to build my machine, my staff. I got to get my posters, banners, my literature. You pretty much know my platform. If you go to, you could read all about what I'm really about on my platform on my GoFundMe page. There's about 18 different blogs I blogged on there. Tells you what I'm all about. But I think right now, American people, we have to get motivated before it's too late. I've been holding my breath since Trump got elected. We can get him out of there in less than a year and a half. We'll vote him out. We'll take over the House and Senate. Then we got him stopped right there. And then maybe we'll get some internal investigations going on to see what he's doing. We could get him for high crimes and misdemeanors. Could get him impeached. People are talking impeachment now. He got Lindsey Graham going against him, which is good. But Lindsey Graham was protecting Kavanaugh, so why the certain switch, all of a sudden? Well, he knows that Trump's making an ass out of himself in all these rallies. He's looking like a buffoon, a fool. So Lindsey Graham is basically doing this orchestrated maneuver to get away from Trump so that he can get reelected and all his buddies in the midterm here, November 6th. Just remember, November 6th is the day you get out and your voices will be heard because you're going to vote. But I'm already hearing that ballots, absentee ballots aren't making it to people's addresses. Things are getting thrown away. A 7-year-old girl got in and hacked the machines, the electronic voting machines. I mean, better get some security, better get some real good monitoring. And then now the Native Americans here in North Dakota are really getting screwed around because they've changed the voting law in the middle of this term here, where all of our Native American brothers and sisters won't be able to vote. They're going to get disqualified because they live on reservations and they don't have, I guess, regular physical addresses, because they're not considering a reservation as a physical address, because they know that the Native brothers and sisters are getting sick of getting shit on by these crooked son of a guns here in North Dakota who have this pipeline. They let them go. I found out the pipeline leaked. They were saying this pipeline would never leak, There was the one across the country where all the natives were mad about the big oil company building a pipeline through their land. Well, I guess it's already leaked, and it's all been hushed by the big oil companies. But we better let our Native American brothers and sisters vote, because I'll tell you, there's going to be hell to pay if they don't get to vote. Some shit's going to start and hit the fan. It could be when Trump gets out, or it could be when the rest of the world comes down here to North Dakota and stops this corruption here. It could take this, because I know Trump ain't going to do a frickin' thing about it, because this is a big Republican state. So, but well, we got to stop it and let our Native American brothers and sisters vote. You screwed them on the pipeline, and everybody felt so bad we took their land, and everybody's talking we're going to help the natives, and now all of a sudden you want to disenfranchise them from voting because none of you dirty SOBs that are gerrymandering and rigging this election are going to let them vote. So you better let them vote, because there's going to be hell to pay. There will be a time, and there will be coming a day when there's going to be hell to pay. So you better vote for me right now, Michael J. Steele, the real deal Steele, because I'll go and get some federal oversight. I'll get some federal money in my state of North Dakota, and I will get this voting thing looked at, where everybody will have a right to vote. I will hire, out of my pay, people to come down here to North Dakota and go to the polls and pay attention to what's going on. So, well, thank you for listening. And I'm Michael J. Steele, the real deal, running for United States Senate in 2022. Just sent some money to my GoFundMe page. That's Michael J. Steele for United States Senate of North Dakota. I'm just fed up, and I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to make a change, and I need your support. If you're fed up and you're listening, I don't really give a shit if you're Democrat, Republican, or alien. I don't care if you're Chinese or green, red, purple, or blue. I need your support. I need your help to vote for me, and I know there's some good Republicans out there, and I know they're listening too, and they're fed up. So I need your support and your votes too. So have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.